Right. 7 billion.
Yeah. Yes, I.
And it opens the album. Why have you picked this song to open the album?
I feel like this is a good representation of the album's vibe. I mean, the album kind of goes to more upbeat stuff and alternative things, but it's just, I think it's a really strong song, I think, as a single. I also got advice from a friend who's a successful musician and sent him the album, and he was like, that has to be your first song, and he's got quite a lot of experience, so I took his
Who is
advice.
this person? You can't say something like that and actually not tell us who it is.
I was trying not to say his name, but it's Ed Sheeran, and he's someone who I've been lucky enough to meet over the years, and I just sent him the album when I finished it, and I was like, look, I know you're busy, but I'd love to get your thoughts, and he's gave me some good feedback. So
is he one of the first people to hear the album?
He is, yeah.
And he suggested that 7 billion should be the opening track.
He did.
When did this song come about for you?
So the whole album was written in a week by myself and two buddies.
Really? That's a very short amount of time for an album to come together.
It's a seriously short amount of time. We actually got together, my two producers, Richard Craker and David King, and I've worked with them independently, and I was like, right, I think it's time to write my third EP. So we got together and planned to write 5 songs, and we wrote 11 in an interlude, 12 songs in a week. So we were just pumping them out. It was just the chemistry just worked.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
I've literally written out the first line. I want to listen to your stories as just an amazing first line for an album. I find that when it comes to opening songs, it's really, really important to bring people in, and that's kind of what we've touched on here. Talk to me about what 7 billion is about in general, and which line for you in this song is the most important for you.
It's a straight up love song. I think with my music, most of my love songs are to Mother Nature, and that's where I gain my biggest source of inspiration. It's about, in part, my wife and our relationship, and we've been together for 17 years and married for nearly 10.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much. And hopefully, if all going well, the song will come out on her birthday or around her anniversary.
Aww.
So that's nice. But I think there's a line, I always, when I think about the song out of context to playing it, it's always hard to remember, but my mother always told me, don't worry about the things that you're never going to be, don't worry about the things that you're never going to see, because everything you need is right in front of you. And that for me is just such a beautiful message. And I think for me, with my music, a song can just bring people joy, a song can bring people catharsis, but for me, music is an opportunity in which to touch people's lives, and if I have their ears and I have their heart for the time they're listening to my songs, I want to make sure they leave it feeling better about themselves and the world.
And you mentioned a daughter in there as well, but you have children, so did you write this from like a perspective from before?
No, it was actually just something that one of my mates who happened to be there at the time said about him and his new fiance, about having a daughter. And sort of that's the thing with songwriting, is some of it's very personal and some of it's just inspired by a conversation you just had. Sometimes it's an experience you had years ago, sometimes it's putting yourself in other people's shoes. So that's the beauty, and I think, of writing with other people as well, is you get this sort of mixture of different experiences coming together and telling a story. And I think the art in songwriting is, can you tell personal stories in a way that feel relatable to as many people as possible, and that's about the language you use. And so 7 billion is very personal in my own love for my wife and in other parts of things with my relationship with my mum and other people, but then also it's embodied and infused with the other songwriters and the people that were there on that week as well.
When people listen to 7 billion, what do you want them to come away with? Like, what feeling or what message?
I want people to leave the album feeling warmer, which is that there are insights of wisdom from life experience, there's things that make them feel inspired about love, there's opportunities within it to go on a journey and be transported to another place. you know, I think find some catharsis, but also feel inspired as well. And I think there's, you know, we covered so many topics in the writing of the album. For me, it's all storytelling, you know, and storytelling is riding on the music, and can the music independently tell a story, and then can you add the words to it, and that they bring you on this journey throughout the album. So I kind of, when I decided to put the structure of the songs together for the album, I thought about a movie in terms of Act 1, Act 2, Act 3, and the sort of peak. So it kind of starts off really chilled, and then it starts building, and then takes you up to a crescendo, and then takes you down, and then takes you out towards the end. So that was the aim.